Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Thank you very much to the Vishnu Mohan Foundation and to Swamiji for asking me to come here today to speak. Full disclaimer, I'm not a speaker, I'm not an author, I'm not a litterer, I'm not a philosopher or a theologist. I'm a full-time practicing doctor. My only qualification to stand here before you today is the fact that every now and then I inhabit this alternate universe called Kamba Ramayanam. Kamba Ramayanam is not just an epic. It is a whole universe in itself, flowing with lofty philosophical thought, full of the laws of justice, plumbing the depths of human emotion, ever filled with devotion, a treatise to love. The Kamba Ramayanam is a magnum opus of 10,800 verses, 4 lines in each verse, as big as Valmiki's Adikavyam, the Valmiki Ramayanam. What Kamban did was he took this great epic called the Valmiki Ramayanam and he evolved that epic into something sublimely beautiful. He took it up to the heights of perfection from where you could almost reach out and touch the face of God. That is something nobody has dared to do. And so many of us who read this epic to this day wonder if Kamban was a mere mortal. He could not have been. Bharati, the great Subramanya Bharati, had this doubt in his mind. He said, Kamban yendoru maanudan vaalnda Tamilnadu. He reiterated to himself that Kamban is a man because he could not believe it. He must be a slice of the divine, thought Bharati, to write an epic of this proportion. It is not just words on paper. What Kamban attempts to do is to know the unknown. We are all creatures created by a creator. The creation cannot know the creator. The pot does not know the face of the potter. We do not know the identity of the creator. It is hidden from us. It will always remain hidden from us. But Kamban searched in that void, found the face of the creator. He identified him and even more boldly tried to show us that face. So if you immerse yourself in Kamba Ramayanam, if you enter into that Prabhanjam, that universe that is Kamban's, you will come out with the feeling that you have seen the face of God. And that has been my experience. Now coming to the topic of the day, like I said, I am not qualified to speak about this. There are many other luminaries here who will be able to talk about this. All my experience, all my knowledge comes from this one epic, which is my universe. And in this epic, there is a Dharma Yuddham. Dharma Yuddham, you think, is the fight between good and evil. But Dharma Yuddham can also be the fight between two good things. When two good things conflict, there is a Yuddham. And here, the Dharma Yuddham actually happens within Rama's soul. Rama kills two great warriors, Vali and Ravana, in two very different ways. Ravana is the demon Rakshasa who abducted his wife, held her in captivity for 10 months. And to Ravana, Rama sent 3 messengers. 3 messengers carrying the message of peace. 3 messengers asked Ravana to desist and let go of Sita. But Ravana refused all 3 messengers, and so Rama went to war with Ravana. On the very first day of battle, Rama defeated Ravana. Ravana had no weapons in his hand, no crowns in his head. Ravana stood on the battlefield like a Nirayudan. And Rama said to him, Indru poi porukku naalai va. Even in that sentence, there is absolution. Go today and come back tomorrow if you want to fight with me. If your intent is not to fight, don't come back. I will compromise. Rama showed such fortitude, such thoughtfulness, such kindness to Ravana. And here we eulogize Rama as the Dharma Devan, Arathin Nayagan. But come to the Vali episode. Vali was no different from Ravana. Vali was a Shiva Bhaktan. Vali had gotten boons and blessings from the same Brahma who blessed Ravana. And Vali committed the same mistake that Ravana did. He abducted his brother's wife, another man's wife. And yet, Rama hunted Vali like an animal. He hid behind a tree and killed Vali with one arrow. If you read the Rama-Ravana Yuddham in Kambaramayanam, it extends into several verses. It describes in detail the weapons that Rama used one after the other to attack Ravana. This evil Ravana, yet for Vali, just one arrow. So, the great scholars, exponents of the epic will tell you that Rama was wrong. It was injustice on the part of Rama to kill Vali this way. Rama thought so too. In Kamban's epic, Rama thought so too. But when you read the epic, you understand that there is a third player in this game. You see, the title is Peace is Born of Justice. Justice is an English word. It's a unidimensional word, single-dimensional word. It means just what it means. It means justice, needi. But there is another word born in our land, dharmam. Dharmam or aram in Tamil is a multi-dimensional word. It means justice and so much more. It is ever-changing, ever-evolving, eternal and constant. So how can something be ever-changing, ever-evolving, eternal and constant? It's very simple. The dharma of a brahmachari is different from the dharma of a grihastha. The dharma of a grihastha is different from the dharma of a sannyasi. For you and me, it is taboo to take another human life. It is considered to be murder. But for a soldier, it is dharma to take another human life. So you see, dharma is not just a rule of law written in a notebook. It has to be interpreted according to time, space, and the stage of evolution of a man's life. Very difficult to understand. It comes from complex philosophical thought that could have only been born in this Punya Bhumi. So, when we speak of dharma, was the Vali episode adharmam? You see, dharma is thought of as an agranai porul. In Tamil we say agranai porul means a lifeless object. It's just a rule. It's just a niyadi. But dharma is the rule and the law of God himself. So dharma takes on its own life and plays center stage, plays the drama in the world stage every now and then. Dharma acquires a physical body and appears on the world stage to enact the law of God, and that is what happens in the Vali episode. Dharma comes in the form of Anuman, Anjaneya. The very moment Anjaneya sees Rama, he identifies the divinity in him. He goes back to Sugrivan and says, Vali Kalan Vandan, I have seen the slayer of Vali. Rama doesn't even know who Vali is at this point. But Anjaneya has already identified him as the killer of Vali. And Anjaneya describes Vali to him in such a way that Rama feels that Vali is a brute who uses his boons and blessings to destroy innocent lives. And Rama is enraged. Dharma also comes in the form of Sugrivan. Sugrivan who falls at Rama's feet and says, Abhayam, surrender. I surrender to you. Protect me from my brother who wants to kill me. Save my wife from his clutches. And when Rama hears this, he is heartbroken because he is a brother who gave up kingship, country, life, family, and happiness for the sake of his brother. He did it all for Bharata. And here there is a brother who is wanting to kill his younger sibling and take away his wife. So Rama thinks this Vali is a boor, a mere animal who deserves to be hunted down like one, and Rama proceeds to do so. He hides behind a tree and kills Vali with one arrow. When the arrow fells Vali, and then Vali actually falls on the ground, and Vali starts to speak, that is when Rama gets acquainted with Vali. And when Rama speaks to Vali, that dialogue is it's actually a monologue full of pathos and grief. For Vali feels sorry for himself, for Rama having killed him. Vali feels sorry for everything that happened, but Vali doesn't apologize for his misdeeds. There is a lot of pathos and despair in that monologue, and there's a lot of empathy and kindness that Vali shows Rama. Vali says to Rama, Rama, you are the son of Dasharatha, the brother of Bharata, and yet you did this? From the Surya Vamsham, the sun has no blemishes. It is the moon which has blemishes. There is a saying that Rama would have been known as Rama Suryan, but for the Vali episode. Because of the Vali episode and the blemish that came from it, he is known as Ramachandran. That aside, Vali says, Rama, I can understand why you did this. Vali pities Rama. He finds an excuse for Rama. He says, Rama, I understand why you did this. Aviyai, Janagan Petra Annattai, Amildinin Vanda Deviyai, Tulaitha Pinnai, Thigaithanai Polum Seigai. You lost your Avi. You lost your soul. You lost Sita. And because you lost Sita, you are stunned. And that is why you have done this. And Rama listens to Vali speak, and Rama is speechless. But Rama has to justify his deeds. So Rama says, Vali, I did this because you committed 2 crimes against your brother, against your brother's wife. And in that conversation, Rama says to Vali, Vali, you are not a Vanara. You are not a Vanara. You know the difference between good and bad. An animal doesn't make that distinction. An animal doesn't know what is good and what is bad. But Vali, you know the difference between good and bad. That puts you on par with me. You are equal to me. Why did you do this? And at that point, Rama is unable to answer. Rama bows down his head in contrition, and Rama is silent. It's a silence of guilt. Not Rama's fault. Not Rama's fault. Dharma came in the form of Hanuman. Dharma came in the form of Sugrivan. Dharma came in the form of Lakshmanan. Lakshmanan was Rama's conscience. He was Rama's checkpoint. At every point he would ask Rama, is this right? But in the Vali episode, Lakshmana is silent. He just says, I don't want to get involved. He doesn't advise Rama. So all of them play the role of Dharma and push Rama to kill Ravana and kill Vali. And when Vali says, Rama, a Rakshasa abducted your wife and you are taking revenge on a Vanara? Like an animal you hunted me down, yet you say that I am human because I know the distinction between good and bad? Rama, this is a contradiction. Is it just? Is your action just? And at that point, Rama bows down his head, almost accepting that he was in the wrong. Because Rama is Rama. The greatest of men are those who can see their faults for what they are. The gods among men are those who take on others' faults upon their shoulders. And when Rama bowed down his head and was silent, in that moment there was an awakening inside Vali. Vali saw in the place of Rama, Vali saw the God of Dharma. Vali saw the God of Dharma, and Vali said, Rama, forgive me. I am the sinner. You are the God. Forgive me and grant me absolution. And then there is the Vali Moksham. And at that point, the beginning of the Vali Moksham, Kamban composes this song. Tayana uyirku nalgi, dharmamum, tagavum, salvum, நீயன நின்ற நம்பி நெறியனின் நோக்கும் நேர்மை நாயன நின்ற எம்பால் நவையற உணரலாமோ தீயன பொருத்தி என்றான் சிறியன சிந்தியாதான். தாயன உயிர்க்கு நல்கி. God is kind to his subjects like a mother is to her children. God is just. Tagavu means justice. God is just. God is great. And in this form of Rama, he sees a union of Godheads. And he says, Rama, you are God. You are right. I am like a dog, the lowest among creations. I am wrong and forgive me. And at that point, Kamban calls Vali Syrian Asindhiyadan, the one who has risen above trivial issues. It doesn't matter to him anymore. You said, I said, he did, I did. None of that matters anymore. He sees that he was essentially wrong. So this is the point where Vali accepts his own mistake. And Rama bows his head down and accepts the fault upon himself when it was not his fault. It was Dharma coming together to destroy Vali, because the destruction of Ravana is already written. Ravana is going to be killed because he abducted another man's wife. There is no way that Vali, who abducted his brother's wife, can be pardoned. That is against the very laws of Dharma. And so Dharma itself dons the garb of Hanuman, of Sugriva, of Lakshmana, and engineers the Vali episode and makes Rama do what he did. Dharmam is a very difficult concept to absorb. Very confusing for people like us. But there's a very simple thing which I have learned from Kamban's Ramayanam, and it is this, that we all have an inner voice. We all have an inner voice. And that voice is called the Manasachi. This voice is never quiet. It is always whispering in our ears. And when we do something, the Manasachi can act as a lawyer or it can act as a judge. If you take somebody else's thing, the Manasachi can tell you, it's okay. You've taken it, he has many, he won't miss it. It's okay, you keep it. Then your Manasachi is acting as a lawyer. You must train your Manasachi to act like a judge. And at that point, the Manasachi says to you, you did wrong. Give it back to him. That is an opportunity for you to rectify your wrong, learn and evolve from that mistake. And evolving is what humanity is all about. And I do not believe that Ravana's, the vanquishing of Ravana would have happened without the vanquishing of Vali. The Vali episode elevated Rama to a higher plane. It deified Rama. It was an awakening for him. He gained a certain amount of mental maturity with which he was able to battle Ravana. Imagine the scene. Sita has given him a deadline. If you do not come in 1 month to retrieve me, I will kill myself. That deadline has approached. The first day of battle is when that deadline expired. Ravana is standing in front of him without any weapons, nothing. He could have finished him off at that moment. Deepavali would have come 10 days earlier. But he didn't do it. He said, Indru poi porukku nalaiva. That is the principle of Dharmam, where Rama's conscience acted as judge and jury. And because of that, he evolved into a higher plane. The Rama story has a lot of things that we can learn from, but the most important thing is this. Ramayanam is a journey that every man has to undertake to get as close to divinity as possible. Ramayanam means the journey of Rama. We are all on that journey. He is just ahead of us. We follow that path, we can reach the same godliness that he did. This brings me to the conclusion of my talk. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak.